I'm going to preface this by saying EA and the devs invited me to watch this trailer, the Battlefield trailer, before they had ever talked about it. And they're like, come watch the new Battlefield trailer. And I was like, oh, cool. It'll be a new trailer for the new Battlefield. They'll, show off what it is and all that sort of stuff. And then they showed this. So this was totally out of the ordinary for what we were expecting. I was expecting a game announcement, and this is not that.
Defending that last point in breakthrough.
You and your squad going together, trying to accomplish something.
Helicopter crashes.
Yeah, this is not that.
Next to you, and all of a sudden the roof drops on your head.
The vehicle play is the destruction.
You've got tanks, you've got jets.
You get a bit sweaty in your palms.
That full all-out military experience. It's just unlike any other game I've played.
He's right. Battlefield is unlike any other game I've played too. That's why I love it so much.
This franchise
Salsa
comes
Rage.
with a long history.
Thank you for paying it forward from Matt Force to Tango Bogey.
But the question
Thank you,
is,
Salsa, as always.
how do we continue to build on that and push Battlefield to the next
Yeah, Scoot,
level?
it's weird. It's weird. This is not a rebrand. No, you'll see.
I've been playing Battlefield since long before I joined the team.
They're
When
basically trying to
1942
tell
first came
you.
out, the amount of fun that we also.
I'm really excited, by the way, that Vince Zampella is working on this, but they're trying to tell you.
So in joining the Battlefield team, it was about the
that
opportunity
Battlefield's they're trying to rehab their image
just more amazing even
after
than they've done in the past.
We set out with this
2042.
ambitious idea of creating this new
They're trying
Battlefield
to.
universe.
They're honestly really
And
trying to make it so
vision
that
reality.
they're telling us they're listening to us. And
each of our four
we will
studios
see.
comes with its own
We
culture
will see.
and expertise into what we call Battlefield Studios.
One team.
Which is a good thing. I do think it's a good thing. I really do.
20 years of franchise experience with emerging talent.
And these are all the different studios that are
DICE
working on
has
it.
such a rich
Ripple
history
Effect,
with Battlefield.
Motive,
We've been working on it for years and years.
DICE,
but we also
and I
want
think
to do something
Criterion.
bigger and better than we've ever done before. And you can't do that with one studio.
In this trailer, they also talk about the fact that they are
DICE is responsible
bringing back
for
the campaign as
multiplayer
well.
part of the game.
So
which
they will be
incorporates
doing a
things like
campaign, which is
destruction
awesome.
Systems, class play,
Glad to hear that.
squad play, vehicles, gadgets, all of those kind of underlying systems that drive the experience.
That was I thought that was one major misstep with 2042, that they didn't have a campaign and charged $70 for it.
Multiplayer maps, and we're also working on single-player mission contents.
We're driving a cinematic
Yeah, here it is.
experience to the level that's never been done on Battlefield before.
Looks like Motive is working on that, so.
Ripple Effect has a long history of working on the Battlefield franchise.
We're working on an experience that is really going to open Battlefield up to a whole group of new players, but really still exciting that core audience that is.
I do like the fact that this trailer is trying to remind us that real people work on these video games.
Criterion have been supporting
So
Battlefield for
you could be
decades
mad at
now,
Battlefield and EA and stuff, but
Table was
remember,
a fully-fledged kind of partner in the
these people really do give a
Battlefield
shit.
studios.
They really do
Mainly
care about
we've
what
been
they're
focused
making.
on the single player experience.
So
the campaign
It's
is
all
back for
AI.
Battlefield.
and a lot of these people like DICE and stuff, there's a lot of people at DICE have been working on Battlefield for years.
To
So
the development of Battlefield. And we have a plan
single player
to
mission
create a
content
new,
feels like intentionally not saying
exciting future
campaign.
for the
You know,
franchise,
maybe Cloudless, you might be right.
alongside our players.
This game
It might be like a
so I think it's about giving the team this
maybe
time
like
to
specific
really hone
missions,
their
you know,
craft.
and not a full campaign or something.
We have to
knows?
prototype, play test, get feedback,
and then repeat that loop.
Over and over and over again. We have to find gameplay that really resonates with the players and then build on that.
Card coda. Yeah, kind of like Battlefield 1. I hope they bring back the
Battlefield
operations
Labs
from
is our
Battlefield
new
1. I love
development
that.
initiative where players will get to test specific focus areas
Great
in the
break.
game.
So they're talking about labs. Battlefield Labs is the thing that this trailer's announcing. It takes forever to get there. And then they're going to describe what Battlefield Labs is right now. Here it is.
Similar things in the past, but this is a whole nother level. We're doing it before we launch the game, and we're doing it with so much more content.
It's an exciting way for us to interact with our audience before things go live and make sure that what we have is really fun and polished.
And we have to test everything, combat to destruction to maps and modes.
We're going to test all the new features that we're putting out, and we're going to test hardware like weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
You know, Rabbit, this reminds me of Deadlock.
But also
And Deadlock didn't even do this. They didn't even make a trailer. So
that feedback is crucial.
That's kind of what
in helping
Deadlock
us
has been
know
doing
what
for
to
a really long
prioritize,
time.
What needs improvement and what feels like a true Battlefield experience.
We're pre-alpha.
So Mosh Dev,
now's the time to test
this
all
is-
the experiences.
yeah,
our
we'll
teams
talk
have
about
been
this. We'll talk
building
about this,
for
Mosh.
upcoming launch and beyond. Join our Discord where you can learn more about our new closed testing environment. We call it Battlefield Labs. Let's build Battlefield together.
And then, of course, the gameplay, which looks great. I love Battlefield. It looks great. Destruction like crazy. Destruction like crazy. I love it. We got to watch that gameplay again. We got to watch that gameplay because the gameplay is sick. We got to watch it again.
Let's build Battlefield together.
We got to watch it. It looks great. You can hear the Battlefield 4 theme in the background. See all that destruction when that building came down? So, oh, that music. I love that music. Okay. So let's talk about it. Hold on. Let's watch that gameplay again. Let's watch that gameplay again. All right, so you guys can ask me kind of any questions you want. The Battlefield Labs sign up is up. I don't have a link of it in chat. I'm sorry. This is not a sponsored stream. I was just, if you want to sign up for it, you can. You know what I will do is maybe I'll play this trailer in the background while I'm talking. But I have a lot of. I spoke to the developers, so I should have a lot of answers to your questions. Yeah, I should have a lot of answers to your questions here. Number one, I've seen a lot of people being really sarcastic and cynical and jaded about like, oh, well, of course they want the players to test the game for free, and absolutely not. That is not at all. This is going to cost them a lot of money to do a closed testing environment for the public. This is going to cost them a lot of money and time that they would not have done otherwise. They would have just paid QA. So they're paying QA, and they're also doing a closed testing environment. So that's a very cynical take that I've seen that's immediately refuted, like right away. So it's such an interesting thing that I was like, oh, of course, the players will just test it for free. Yeah, we'll test your game for free. And I was like, no, dude, you don't understand. These studios are going to pay a shitload of money, and it's going to like cost them a lot of time to do what they're doing with this closed testing environment. So if that makes any difference to you, that whatever. What factions will be in the game, I don't know, Shazen. So here's the best part of this that I wish I had answers for. A lot of us that were in the call kept asking, what can you tell us about Battlefield 6? And we don't like they don't know. They said they have a timeline of when they're going to release Battlefield 6, but that's as far as I got. They don't have a name. We don't know what the setting is. I would assume by the gameplay it's modern. I would assume by the gameplay that it's a modern setting. We don't know it's going to be called Battlefield 6. The timeline, they didn't, of course, Mosh Dev, they didn't tell me what the timeline was. So I would imagine, my guess is that the timeline for Battlefield 6, the new Battlefield, will probably get pushed according to what's happening in labs. So if Battlefield Labs is testing well, then they'll release, right? But if it's not testing well, then they'll probably push it further out and it'll get delayed. That's probably what's going to happen. That is my guess for Battlefield 6 or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so I have lots of other answers about labs if you have any questions about labs. So again, like if any questions about their gameplay, you saw what I saw. So you know as much about the gameplay as I do. That's it. Delayed is better than an unfinished game. I completely agree. Yeah, will there be crossplay? I have no idea. So again, all of this stuff this was a trailer for Battlefield Labs and not a trailer for Battlefield 6. And it's so interesting because all of us were like expecting a trailer for 6, and it is not that. So the Battlefield Labs sign up has a queue of 250,000 people. When your time is up, you have 15 minutes to respond to the website. Yeah, that's right. When's the release date? No idea. Supposedly they have a timeline, but I don't know that they have. I doubt they have an official release date. I was saying like this feels to me like Deadlock, where Deadlock, they were having people test Deadlock under NDA for months. I was in a Deadlock Discord long before people knew publicly what Deadlock was, and that's what this feels like. Is they're going to have a bunch of people close testing under NDA, meaning you can't talk about it, you can't stream it, can't record it, but you can play Battlefield Labs and give them your feedback, and that's kind of what this feels like when it comes to Deadlock. If you knew anything about the beginning of Deadlock, that's what happened. So, Arma Reforger is also, Reforger is publicly available, but I guess it's a testing environment for Arma 4. That's a good way to put it too, K-Stu, except that this is free. Battlefield Labs is free. You just sign up, and then you can play. Sergatov, they were saying for Battlefield Labs that if you get into Battlefield Labs and are able to test the new Battlefield, at the beginning you're not going to be able to stream it. You're not going to be able to record or talk about it publicly. But as time goes on, eventually, yes, you'll be able to start streaming what they have on Battlefield Labs. So that's kind of what this feels like to me. Chief Chavez, I hope they listen this time too. There's a lot. I've seen so much. Yeah, Cloudless, it does. I've seen so much negativity already about Battlefield and about this. And the more that I've talked about this and thought about this, the more I think this is a very positive step. No, I'm not in it, White Rabbit. No, I probably will be at some point, but I'm not in it yet. So I do think this is a positive step toward trying to rehab Battlefield's image and make a better Battlefield at launch. Man, I hope so. Fuck. Jeez. But I think initially you could feel very negative about it. I feel like initially you could be really cynical, because I was. I was at first, but then the more that I talked to them and the more that I thought about this trailer, I was like, I was like, this is actually a very positive step. It's free. It's a lot of work on their part to do this. They're trying to make sure that the community's listened to and that they're going to launch better than they have for other Battlefields. So, so really it'll boil down to whether or not they listen. So like if they do Battlefield Labs testing for the next, 9 months and then release the game in holiday this year and it's fucking broken, we're all going to be like, well, what the fuck? Like, why did you do that? But if the launch is better than that, we could be like, okay, Labs actually worked. So they make big gameplay changes based on feedback. Yeah, Moshdev, yeah. One thing they said to me, because everyone was like, well, what are you focusing on in Labs? And the first thing they said they were focusing on was destruction, which is great. Everybody wanted to hear that. So that's good. Destruction and core combat. And the thing is that we really want, let's just loop this. We really want, I think a lot of people in Battlefield want the destruction back. It's like, I don't know why they got rid of that in 2042. Why did they get rid of that stuff? Like, of course they had destruction of like specific map things, but like the buildings themselves parts of them could get destroyed, but not all of them. So, are you worried people don't actually know what they want and devs will listen too much? No, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, it's a good place to start, Earthborn Gnome. It is. Yeah, I want Levolution back. I don't know if we'll get that back. Everybody wants Bad Company too, so maybe they are. This modern setting makes me feel like they're pushing towards a Bad Company 3, but I don't know that for sure. Don't move the objective forward at a certain point. The map is a flat plane. Greg, absolutely, Greg. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, what else? What other questions you got for me? Cloudless. What other questions? You please feel free to here, let me turn it up a little bit.
It's an exciting way.
Please feel free to ask me questions, because I can talk about this forever, but if you guys have any specific questions, should we pre-order? No, I tell everybody not to pre-order. Absolutely not. Do you think Vince and team will start to feel more like COD? No, I don't. I think I'm not worried at all about what Vince Zampella makes. I love Titanfall. Zampella, arguably worked on the best CODs. So, is Labs planned for all future Battlefield releases? A great question. If this works, short hair, I bet they use it again. Yeah, but that's 5-6 years in the future. Oh yeah, the studios are. It is public knowledge, but yes, it's Ripple Effect, Criterion, Motive, and DICE are all working on it. What's a feature that I would love to see as a longtime player? More destruction. That's what I want to see. I want to see more destruction. What they're showing there, I think, is they're basically that's a nod to all of us. Will lab members be compensated? As far as I know, no. No, I'm pretty sure this is just you go in and play for free. Did they say anything about their stance on unalive vehicles by sticking? No, they did not say anything about that, Greg Brain. I would imagine that's going to stay in. What else? There, like I said, there's going to be a campaign, but Cloudless rightly pointed out, they said like single player missions. So I believe when I spoke to them on the phone, they were saying that a campaign is back, but the trailer does say single player missions, so it could be a little different. Regardless, it's going to be single player. But how much do QA testers make anyway? That varies. That varies. Did they talk about Commander mode returning? No, they didn't. I love Commander mode. Nobody else loves Commander. I love it. Anything you heard in the call that sounded bad or weird? Hold on, let me take a look at my notes. Players test areas in the game before launch. Testing everything. Remember, testing everything that you test in labs is all under NDA, so you can't talk about it, you can't stream it, record it, none of that stuff. Obviously, it's a modern setting, but it looks like it's probably going to be like near future, whatever. 2026, 27, whatever. They did say, yeah, they said eventually there'll be non-NDA open beta weekends in Battlefield Labs. Microtransactions and battle passes, I would imagine, will be there. They didn't confirm any of that. I would be shocked if EA did not have a battle pass or microtransactions. Absolutely shocked. Let's see here. What else? People are. This is interesting too. They also said that Battlefield Labs will probably continue after the release of the new Battlefield, which is very interesting. So they'll continue to test even after they release the new Battlefield, Battlefield 6, whatever they're going to call it. So no idea of a release date. No, they didn't get into that. Battlefield Labs is only testing the new Battlefield title, which I think you probably already knew. They did say, you're trying to think if you should join this? I mean, I feel like you have nothing to lose. Why wouldn't you not? You might as well. They did say that they know that this is what they said to us. They know that community makes Battlefield. They know that we make Battlefield. So they want our transparency and they want our feedback. They want all that. And that's why they're doing this. That's why they're making... C-Fence, I do think it's a positive step. I really do. That's why they're making labs. And again, I was speaking to them on Friday, and they're like, we understand that labs is like us being like, please, hey, like, come back. And we understand that we screwed up last time. So we're going to make this better. We're going to make this better for you guys, which I appreciate. Yeah. So, like I said, they do have a timeline for the new one, but they didn't tell anybody what it is, so we have no idea. Muko, thank you, Muko, for gifting to the Vonks. Vonks, do something nice for somebody else. Thank you, Muko. They also did say that the Battlefield Labs platforms, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. So it's not just on PC. It looks like, I don't know if it'll be crossplay in Labs, but it's on the consoles and PC as well. So Did they provide any? Hold on, I'm trying to answer these questions. Did they provide any clarity on what they meant by opening up Battlefield to a whole new group of players? Yes, that's what Labs is. They're inviting you to test the game before it comes out. You are the new group of players. That's what that is. Yeah, card code. I know you're right. Is Labs being used to develop the next Battlefield entry? Yes, that is correct. Moshdev, us losers. So yeah, so I don't think you have anything to lose here. Was anything mentioned about making the game more optimized for a wide range of hardware? No, they didn't get into that at all in terms of specs or whatever. Did they mention how many testers are expected in the first wave? They did not. But there's 250,000 people in a queue on EA's website right now. So if that's any indication, then that might be it. Let's see here. Labs is exactly what the community asked for. More involvement and sooner with iterative feedback. Yeah, I know. Exactly. You're right.
We've done similar things.
You're absolutely right.
This is a whole nother level.
Is there an upper limit on testers? Probably in the first couple of waves, I would imagine. But I don't know what it is.
It's an exciting way for us to interact with our audience.
Oh, Kriegroth. Good luck out there with the kiddo.
We have to test everything. Combat to destruction.
More or less forced team play.
We're going to test all the new features. We're going to test hardware like weapons. Look, from the 10 seconds of gameplay. Oh, Kriegroth. Thanks for gifting to Ven Zero on your way out. That feedback is crucial.
Thank you, Kriegroth. It's always Ven Zero. Do something nice for somebody else. From the 10 seconds of gameplay, it looks to me like it's going to be Battlefield 4. So if that's any indication for you, Battlefield 4, if you like the squad play and you like that, then you'll probably enjoy it. Or like Bad Company 2. But it's ready for testing right now. From what I can see, yes. But I'm not part of it. So I don't know for sure. I would imagine I have heard rumors of the fact that they have been doing playtesting for quite a little bit. They've probably been having people come to their studios and playtest at their studios. And he mentioned a Portal. Greg, I asked about Battlefield Portal, and they were like, no, this is not, like, we're not testing Portal. We are testing the new Battlefield game. So they didn't mention that Portal would be in it or what, but I did ask about it. Is that a hint on your part? It's not, Rabbit, because I haven't gone to do it. I wish that I had, but it's really not a hint, because I've heard rumors that they are doing that, and they show footage. They show footage of people playing at a studio. So I would assume that they are doing public playtests in their studios, so that they can make sure that no one leaks the footage. No, I wish that I did, Rabbit. I have not played this game at all. No. I would love to. I would love to. And once I am no longer under NDA, I'll be able to tell you whenever I played it. So. But no, I have not played it yet. That I could say. Yeah, Moshdev, that's a great question. We're gonna see leaks. We're gonna see leaks of gameplay for sure. Once this goes out remote to like people who can play this game remote or whatever, and like jump in a server with they're under NDA, we'll see leaks, and then those people who leaked their footage will get banned. Yeah, lawyers. But that'll happen. We'll probably see some leaks. That's right. Deadlock didn't leak until that one journalist decided to post everything. But that's because Deadlock was just a Discord. So when you joined that Discord, there wasn't any contract you signed that said you can't talk about Deadlock. There might have been on the Discord like whatever, like, hey, don't talk about it. But like, I didn't ever sign a PDF or whatever. There will be for this. There will be for this, and there'll be player watermarks and stuff like that. Let's see here. But I'm trying to think of what else.
Again, I was just caught off guard because this is not a Battlefield 6 announcement. Sort of is. This is like a we're opening up a closed testing environment to test the new Battlefield, but it's like kind of.
And we have a plan to create a new
No, Myriad Adaptive, you cannot.
for the franchise alongside our players.
Yeah, Toaster Strudel, absolutely.
game has so much potential.
What kind of anti-cheat? I would assume they're going to use the same anti-cheat they always do for Battlefield. Yeah, they're trying to reset the relationship with Battlefield and the community because so many people are so negative and so cynical.
Really resonates with the player.
Is there going to be gameplay? There is in the trailer. Yeah, you'll see it.
Battlefield Labs is our
You will see it in just a second.
initiative where players will get to test specific
Do you get to play full games in labs? I would imagine so.
We've done similar things
Right?
in the past, but this is a whole nother level.
Right? Wouldn't you?
Before we launched the game,
There's a
doing
line.
it
Yeah, there is Silver and Black. Oh, Hutch. We were just talking about Hutch.
exciting way for us to interact with our
We were just talking about Hutch.
live and make sure that
Thank you very much for the Hutch raid, Hutch. Is Hutch gone?
combat to
Whenever he raids, he disappears, right? Like Batman.
test all the new features that we're putting out.
Whenever he raids, he disappears. We're talking about the new Battlefield. Oh, he's there. He is here. Wow.
But also validate what players are expecting.
I love Hutch so much. Hutch is the greatest of all time.
Helping us know what to
Uh,
prioritize, what needs improvement.
I was watching Hutch earlier this morning, and I didn't tell him that.
We're pre-alpha, so now's the
Don't tell Hutch I was watching him.
teams have been building from
Mosh gifted to Major Allsham. Thank you, Mosh. And Greg Brain gifted to Hutch as well.
where you can learn more about our new closed testing environment.
I love watching
We
Hutch.
call it Battlefield Labs.
I love it.
Let's
Hutch is such a smart guy.
build together.
He's like so smart that I'm always like, I don't know how anybody's gonna be able to debate this dude, but they do. Yeah, I know you guys are depressed about political stuff. I am too about certain stuff as well. So welcome in. We're talking about the new Battlefield. Well, we're talking about the new Battlefield. So in the case that you know nothing about this is a good time to replay this trailer. I also spoke to EA and the devs, mainly just the devs, not even really EA. Well, there was like one person from EA there. And I spoke to them about this trailer before they released it. So, enjoy the trailer here. And if you're as confused as I am about this trailer, it's okay. It's all right. I get it. Am I in the trailer? No, I am not.
Defending that last point in Breakthrough.
Mr. Sith, I'll give you my thoughts.
You and your squad going together
After
trying
the
to
trailer.
accomplish something.
Helicopter crashes into the building next to you, and all of a sudden the roof drops on your head.
No, all the people that I've ever interacted with at EA
You've got jets.
You get a
have
bit
been
sweaty in your palms.
so nice
Full all-out military
and
experience.
so fantastic.
It's just unlike any other game I've played.
I love when devs think their players coordinate. Oh, Sham, but it's so much fun to
Franchise
coordinate in
comes with a
Battlefield.
long history, spanning over 20 years now.
Great brain.
But the question is, how do we continue to build on that? And push
Basically, this is an
Battlefield to the
announcement
next
for
level?
the new Battlefield, but less that and more an announcement for what's called Battlefield Labs.
Long before I joined the team. When 1942 first came
and
out,
Battlefield
the amount of
Labs
fun that we all sat down and had with it is just
is a
still like
closed
a fond
testing
memory.
environment
So,
so that you can test the new Battlefield before it comes out.
To
That's
give
what
the
this
team
is.
that space to do something just more amazing even than they've done in the past.
We set out with this ambitious idea of creating this new Battlefield universe. And to
Beef
make that
Labs,
vision
that's right.
reality, we had to think big.
Each of our 4 studios comes with its own culture and expertise into what we call Battlefield Studios.
And all these studios have been working on Battlefield for a really long
One
time.
team
Motive,
that spans across
Criterion,
the globe
Ripple
and combines
Effect,
20
DICE.
years of franchise experience with emerging talent.
Yeah, Flat Earther, right? Everybody does.
DICE has such a
Mucky
rich
Brain.
history with Battlefield.
The thing is
We've
that
been working on it for years and years.
it's really easy to be cynical
we
about
also want
this,
to
but
do
we'll talk
something
about it
bigger and
after the
better than
trailer.
we've ever done before, and you can't do that
It's
with one
really
studio.
easy, like Cool Breezy and Mucky Brandy. It's so
DICE
easy to be
is
cynical, and I was
responsible
cynical when I
for the
first watched this
multiplayer part
trailer.
of the game. which
But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Systems, class play.
This is actually a really good idea.
Vehicles, gadgets, all of those
and
kind
I
of
will
underlying
explain
systems that drive
why
the experience.
maybe you should be a little less cynical. Just a little bit. Just a touch.
So here at Motive, we're working on multiplayer maps, and we're also working on single-player mission content.
Defense, no, that's not a thing that happens.
We're driving a cinematic experience to the level that's never been done on Battlefield before.
So it looks like there're going to be some. There's a campaign or some single-player
has
missions.
A long history of working on the Battlefield franchise.
We're working on experience
Nick,
that is really going to
what are you
open
talking about,
Battlefield
even
up to
Nick?
a whole group of new players. But really still exciting.
I'm not
that
even
core
sure what
audience
Nick
that
is.
has made this franchise
Nick
so
Fenton, are you on
successful.
drugs right now? Are you on drugs?
Criterion have been supporting Battlefield for a decade now, and
Did
now
somebody
we're
have a
bringing that
septum
to the
piercing
table
and
as
you're
a
mad about
full-fledged
it?
kind of partner in the Battlefield
Talk
studios.
about tolerant.
Mainly,
talk about tolerant, Nick.
Experience.
Everyone talks about how tolerant Nick Fenton is. Not at all tolerant. Unbelievable.
We have never before had this many teams and talents dedicated to the development of Battlefield. And we have a plan to create a new, exciting future for the franchise, alongside our players.
That's all right, Mucky. I understand. I get it. You are allowed to be cynical about Battlefield. It really, it's totally fine.
We have to prototype, play test, get feedback,
and then repeat that loop
over and
Ew,
over
Kenny,
and
yuck.
over again. We have to find gameplay that really resonates with the players and then build on that.
Battlefield Labs is our new development initiative where players will get to test.
It's a live
specific
reveal? No,
focus
no.
areas
The trailer
in the
came
game.
out a couple hours ago. So Battlefield Labs. So they're showing, this is what the trailer is actually about. It took forever to get there. Battlefield Labs is it's a closed testing environment that they're allowing people to come in and play and test for the next Battlefield entry. And they're opening it up today. So you can sign up for it today if you want. There's a massive queue. I know that. And I mean, I'm not even in it, but if you want to sign up, you can.
Similar things in the past.
Me
but
too,
this
laying
is
low.
a whole nother level. We're doing it before we launch the game.
Don't
and
they
we're
realize
doing
they just
it
got to make
with
Battlefield
so much
more like it used to be?
It's an exciting way for
But
us to
Uncelibate,
interact with our audience before
what did it
things go
used to
live
be?
and make sure that
Was
what
it
we have is
1
really fun and polished.
or Battlefield
We have to
5
test everything.
or Battlefield
Combat,
3
construction, to
or
maps and
1942?
modes.
We're going to test all the new features that
Could be
we're putting
lots of
out, and
things,
we're
you
going
know?
to test hardware like weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
We can try different things, but also validate what players are expecting for Battlefield.
That feedback is crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what needs improvement, and what feels like a true
Yeah, everyone likes
Battlefield
different things about it, but I think
We're
Bad
pre-alpha,
Company 2
So now's the time to test
and
all the
Battlefield
experiences
4
our teams
might
have
be
been
their
building for our upcoming launch and
their
beyond.
most popular entries in Battlefield, maybe.
Join
And
our
so I think
Discord,
people
where you
maybe
can
want
learn
that.
more about our
So-
new closed testing environment. We call it Battlefield
Yeah,
Labs.
Uncelibate. That's all sort of up
Let's
for
build
debate.
Battlefield
Uncelibate.
together.
That's the problem. So you're getting at the heart of what the problem is. You're getting at the heart of why Battlefield is so hard to pin down. Look at all that destruction. All right, I'm so excited.
Experiences
This
our teams
gameplay
have
is
been
great.
building for our upcoming launch and beyond.
This is the only
We call
gameplay
it
they've showed so
Battlefield
far.
Labs.
So
Let's build Battlefield together.
But see, like from what you're seeing in that gameplay, you're watching all of these buildings come down. Obviously the building gets shot, come down. This one comes down. The one next to it comes down too. So that to me really looks like they're focusing on destruction.
Field together.
So, and they did say again, this was what they told me in the call was that their main focus is destruction. Nick, their main focus is destruction and core combat, which is good. That's good. That's what I think a lot of people wanted from 2042 and didn't get was the destruction in that game wasn't the greatest. So stop straying into the arcadey COD realm so much. Again, Uncelibate, all the things you're saying are so vague.
So the campaign is
It's so vague and it really doesn't pin down what a fun game is, right? So that's the whole point of Battlefield Labs
dedicated to the
is
development of Battlefield.
the labs is like very cynically, you're like, the first thing you think to yourself is like, why would I do this? Why don't they just pay QA testers? Yeah, it's not a simulator at all. Why don't they just pay QA testers? Why do I gotta do it for free? And that's the cynical take. But then if you realize Battlefield Labs is going to cost them a lot of time and a lot of money. It's going to cost them a lot more time and a lot more money than if they were just QA testing. So to me, Labs is a much more positive step, and a way to make sure that it's fun to people who are not developers. And I think that's the most important part when it comes to a video game in general. So yeah, so you get to play early, but it's all under NDA, so you won't talk about it, you can't stream it, you can't record it. None of that stuff. But it's free. So you can go and play for free, and then you can yell at them and tell them it sucks. If you're coming in from Hutch's stream, I said this before, but it's like Deadlock. Deadlock had an open Discord, basically an invite-only Discord that you could get invited to long before Deadlock was ever publicly shown. And I was in that Discord for months, and I was watching people give feedback on Deadlock and playing Deadlock, but never telling anybody about it. So I think that's kind of what they're trying for here. It feels to me like they're going for the Deadlock, I don't know, plan, even though I don't even know if Valve really had a plan for that. So let's build Battlefield together. Yeah, so that's what this trailer is about. It's about the Battlefield Labs thing, less about Battlefield 6. The gameplay they're showing at the end is cool, but like, this could change so much, right? Like, that could be completely different from what the game is in a few months. More gamers' opinions should be kept in a private Discord where they can't talk about it outside of that. I agree, Nick. I agree. You know why? Because when you share your opinion privately, you're not looking for upvotes or likes or fucking retweets. You're not out there farming for engagement. You're just in there telling them what you think. So you're probably not going to be a dick about it. I just want gamers to be silent. Boy, that's never going to happen. Mosh. Gamers suck as a gamer. So I think Labs is a good... I will say I was very cynical about this trailer when I first saw it. I was like, what are they doing? Like, why not just show us the new game? And then the more that I thought about it, I was like, no, this is the right move. This is a good move. So I was very much like you when I first watched this trailer.
We're doing it before we launch the game, and we're doing it with...
Maybe the studio behind the finals owns the engine now? You have a hunch they lost the rights to the Levolution system? Huh, interesting. Levolution, the first time Levolution was revealed was in Battlefield 4. So, not 3. 3 had great destruction, though.
We can try different things.
Seen, not heard. That's what gamers should be.
That feedback is crucial.
No, Labs is just a closed testing environment. And again, every video game has closed testing environments. They do this all the time, but they don't open it up to the public, usually. And opening it up to the public is going to cost them a lot of time and a lot of money. And this to me, I'm not going to, this is all speculation, but it feels to me like Vince Zampella and the other studios went and begged EA to be like, EA, you guys fucked this up so bad last time that we now have to go to the public and apologize with this, like, executable plan. That's what this feels like to me. It feels like the devs being like, please don't fuck us. Like, we want to make a successful product for you. So, and then EA was like, all right. That's what this feels like to me. I could be wrong. This could be a plan from EA. I don't think it is. I think this is a plan from the developers. And I think they got EA to buy in, which is good. So yeah, there'll be a little, they said they're going to be a campaign or single player missions, something like that. But hey, if you don't feel optimistic, it's totally fine. I don't want you to feel optimistic about this. I don't want you to pre-order. I tell everybody don't pre-order any video game.
And everyone's like, Bruce, you pre-order video games. And I was like, yes, I do that for my job. I pre-order video games so that I can play it early and stream it for you. I don't pre-order it because I'm excited about it. I pre-order it because so I can stream it early for you.
We've done similar things in the past, but this is a whole.
But I'm telling you,
We're doing it before we launched the game.
as someone who is not a streamer,
So much more content.
don't pre-order the game. Don't pre-order new Battlefield. Don't pre-order Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Don't pre-order blah blah blah.
And we have to test
Yeah, I will be playing Kingdom Come tomorrow. So don't pre-order anything. Just wait. Have I ever refunded a pre-order? Have I? I never pre-order games.
But also validate
I don't know if I've ever refunded a pre-order. Maybe.
That feedback is crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what needs
I think I refunded a pre-order for Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm pretty sure I did, actually. I pre-ordered Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then when they came out with all those microtransactions that made you better at the game, I refunded it. I'm pretty sure I did that.
About our new closed testing environment.
I'm pretty sure I did that.
Call it Battlefield Labs. Let's build Battlefield.
Battlefront 2 now is awesome, by the way. But we are, Crow. Yeah, that's right. Crow, I'll be playing both. Both, Crow. Do. Yeah, there's like 250,000 people in the EA queue to sign up for Battlefield Labs, but it's free. So I don't have a link, but you can just Google it. This isn't a sponsored streamer thing. It's just talking about Battlefield because I love Battlefield. So, and I got to talk to the developers. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. And Hutch's raid sort of reset everything, which I love. Sort of gave me a reason to re-explain everything. But if you have any other questions about it, I can try and answer them. I have a lot of answers to Battlefield Labs questions, but I don't have answers to the questions about Battlefield 6, the new Battlefield. Do I know how the feedback system works? I would imagine the feedback system works all on Discord. So I'd imagine that you're gonna give all the feedback through Discord, or like surveys, you know. Big companies like EA love surveys. They love like Google, you know, Google surveys or whatever. So, but
so much more content.
Is Labs like a beta thing? It is. It's more like, yeah, starting out as an alpha thing, but yes, it is like that. It's a closed test environment. They call it a CTE, closed test environment, but you can be part of it. So, do the devs know Battlefield always had a rough launch? Yes, they do. They do. CTE. That's right. Not the concussion, not brain damage. Although some might say that EA does have brain damage. No, CTE is a closed testing environment.
Join our Discord where you can learn more.
Yeah, Battlefield doesn't typically have very good launches. They haven't had good launches for years and years and years. EA acknowledged that in like, I think it was like a year ago. Scoot. EA acknowledged that the fact that they have bad launches, and they were like, normally players are totally fine with it. Which I was like, what the fuck? Come on, dude. Are you serious? EA, what's your problem? It would be nice to see a return to the Bad Company games. I will say this modern setting looks like it could be a Bad Company thing. If they're smart, they're making... All right, here's what they should do, chat. I'm going to tell you what they should do. Guys, I'm going to tell you how they fix Battlefield, okay? Number one, they make a free-to-play mode that everybody can play, like Warzone. All right? Make a free-to-play mode. Number two, they do campaigns or single-player missions that have the characters from Bad Company 2. All right? That's how you do it. So you take the characters from Bad Company 2, you put them in the new Battlefield, and you do the single-player campaigns or missions with those characters from Bad Company, and call it Battlefield Bad Company 3. Number 3, destruction everywhere. Everything's destructible. That's how this plays out. That's how Battlefield should be. Everything should be destructible all the time. And then after that, do whatever you want.
We're doing it before we and we're doing it.
Turd Burglar, there was like 8 or 9 people
So
It's an exciting way for
just
us to
needs a
interact with
free-to-play
our audience before
mode.
things go live and make sure
Stop
that
charging
we have
people
really
for
fun
stuff like Firestorm
Test everything. Combat,
or
destruction,
fucking what was the
modes.
2042 mode?
new features that we're putting out. We're gonna test
Hazard Zone, right?
weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
Why do they do that? Like, don't do that.
But also validate what players are
No, Anthony, like they could make it just a battle royale or something that's free to play, or make a extraction mode that's free to play. Anything, anything. We don't need more hurricanes. That's true. We don't need another hurricane or weather environments. Even though they tried to do that, I thought it was cool initially, and then the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, eh. Stop microtransactions is a fantastic idea that they'll never do.
Battlefield Labs.
Why free to play? Because that's what COD did.
Build Battlefield together.
And Warzone breathed new life into Call of Duty. Literally reset Call of Duty and made it bigger than ever. Yeah, they need a free-to-play mode. Yeah, the microtransactions will never ever stop. So we're gonna get battle passes, and we'll get microtransactions. Everyone's gonna hate those.
Now we're going to bring that to the table as a fully
But they will be in the video game. I will like. I'll be shocked. I will be shocked if there are no microtransactions in this new Battlefield. That'll never happen. Because it's EA, and EA thinks they can milk us, so they're going to try. But I do think that the devs themselves, the developers, are begging EA, please don't kill us with microtransactions. I'm positive that the devs are putting up a wall and being like, please, please EA, don't sync this before we can even launch. So
over and over and over again.
that's right, Greg. Give us back squad game modes, getting rid of vehicles, boots on the ground type of stuff was some of the best gameplay I've ever had in Battlefield. See, Gabriel, I completely disagree. I would. I love the vehicles in Battlefield. I think the vehicles are what make Battlefield Battlefield. So,
we've done similar things in the past.
hopefully they have two different modes. They have modes where you can play just CQB. You're just on the ground with a bunch of other dudes, and then they have modes with a bunch of other vehicles. Labs, I think, is live now, Woodchuck. I just believe you have to sign up for it. Battlefield Labs is live, so.
We're going to test all the new features that we're putting out, and we're going to test hardware.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of vehicles in Battlefield, but some people are not. Some people love running around shooting things like Operation Metro, which is totally fine too.
That feedback is crucial.
They need to do what BattleBit did.
Prioritize what needs improvement and what feels.
BattleBit. I don't know. I'm not sure what BattleBit's time to kill was so quick. I'm not sure what was good about BattleBit.
Building for our upcoming launch and beyond.
I was never a fan of BattleBit, but and BattleBit had its moment, had its reach, but its reach wasn't nearly what they want Battlefield to be. So Battlefield's they want millions of players. And I think BattleBit is probably, in the tens of thousands of players, so. But, yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I can talk about when it comes to Battlefield.
Table as a fully fledged kind of partner in the Battlefield studio.
Any other questions that you've got for me?
We've been focused on the single player experience.
I'd like to, Mucky Brandy.
The campaign is back for Battlefield.
I'm confused if there's gameplay at the end of the queue, if it's just a sign up. I think it's just a sign up. I don't think there's gameplay at all. I think once you're at the end of this queue for Battlefield Labs, that's just you signing up for Labs, and then they'll let you in or not. So, yeah, Greg Brain, me too.
This game has so much potential.
Oh, you mean in terms of gameplay and unlocks? I got you, Squid. I got you.
Really hone their craft.
Prototype, play test, get feedback.
Yeah, there's a massive queue to sign up for Battlefield Labs right now.
We have to find gameplay that
But
really
anyways, all right.
the players and then build on that.
Well, Gooses,
Battlefield Labs.
this isn't Labs related, but do you think they'll bring back Commander mode? Oh, I hope so. Commander mode's my favorite thing in, I think, almost all of Battlefield, and they'll never bring it back. They will never bring it back. I loved Commander mode.
It's an exciting way for us.
Oh, I loved it. They'll never bring it back.
And make sure that
It was so cool.
Combat to destruction to maps and modes.
putting out, and we're going to test hardware like weapons, vehicles.
Dropping supply crates on people is the best.
Can try different things. But also
I know. I'm Greg Brain. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell somebody at some point that I need commander mode. Duriru.
In helping us know what's
I hope everything has gone back to normal for you, Duriru, here in Los Angeles.
true Battlefield experience.
We're pre-alpha, so now is the time to test
All right.
experience.